Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Garden. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? How you doing out there? Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it after the show. But right now, let's just get into the show. Let me get a little sip here first. So, lighting cycles. How much light, how much dark, how to transition between those, using those in when you get a clone that's been at one lighting cycle and you may want to use a different lighting cycle, these sorts of things. It's an interesting topic. I don't really know if there was some question answer here exactly. More so it's just a little chatting about that particular topic about transitioning, and well, just watch the clip. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll talk to you after. John, what are your thoughts about light memory in cuttings for cloning? Let me explain. I get 100% success when it comes to cloning when I make a clone for myself. I grow indoors at 18:6 light schedule. When I clone for myself, I use the same 18:6 schedule and everything turns out perfect. When I clone from someone else's to grow outdoors, I clone at 1410 light cycle, or the current light cycle of the sun, but that automatically triggers flower as soon as the roots show. Every time.
This is from somebody else's plant?
Well, yeah, this is like he says when he does his clones, tip top, no problem. He can go right into his 18.6, but if he gets someone else's, it goes south on him.
Well, especially if you go to a 1410, that's because most of your friends aren't running an 18.6. They might be a 20 on 4 off, or so there is a light memory piece to it, and I think there's also a genetic piece to this and a nutrient piece to this. If they're feeding them a whole different feeding style, it's all synthetic, all nitrates, all phosphates, and then you're trying to bring them over into a new environment, new food source, new everything. But I think more importantly, it's going from that. You're going from a 1410 is just a couple hours away from a 12 and 12, which is going to automatically trigger them regardless.
Sure.
So yeah, the light memory I think is pretty huge.
Yeah.
I would probably stick with the light memory of the plant you're taking. So if they're on a 20 hour on, 4 off, clone it 20 on, 4 off. Once they start taking root, then start reducing that light cycle to acclimate them more to the outdoor light cycle, and that's probably going to be more efficient for that plant. But you're always going to see, we get it every year when people bring their indoor plants outdoors to get them going. And they always bring them out like first week, second week of June, and they automatically trigger. But indoors, you're on 20 on, and then you bring them outdoors. We don't have 20 hours of light in Oregon. So you're automatically going to start seeing sexing occurring. Most times they'll revert back, go back into a late vegetative stage and wait till solstice or wait till the light switch. Then they'll start producing again on the fruit cycle.
So the plant doesn't know it's June 15th. It just knows that it was this stage, and whether it's a clone or whatever, it's at that growth stage in its life of the plant. It knows what was going on.
Plants know by light what time of year it is.
And they're going to try and figure that out, but it may take them a little bit. Does it also affect it if you're going from indoor to outdoor, that you have a vastly different amount of light? The quantity of light is different.
Yeah, I mean, and especially people that put out late, it's like, if it's going to be 85 degrees direct sunlight for the first 4 to 5 days, putting them on the north side of a building, keeping them in their original container, slowly hardening them off to the new environment, so that way when you do put them out in direct sunlight, they don't just cook up and die. There's a lot of plants immediately burn when they actually get to touch the sun. I mean, those kale plants were doing great until I got them here, and then I put them in the ground. It was about 3 days. Like, oh my gosh, it's 84. Indoors is only 72 with artificial light.
Well, like when you're in a warehouse or something, it seems pretty light because your eyes have adjusted. But there's 10 billion times more light out here.
I mean, there's no roof on this thing. So no, I'd say try to take your cuttings at roughly the same light cycles stage as what it came from, at least until they get roots, and then acclimate them back to your light cycle. But you'll always see that, especially out going from indoor to out. Most people will see a flower response just from the lack of light, because we don't have 12 hours of light yet. Okay, good answer. Okay, what do you think of that? Informative, entertaining, helpful, agree, disagree? Let's talk about it in the comments. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.